MSC World America, the ship that MSC hopes will be their big breakthrough in the United States for the year 2025. It comes with a bold new design, a brand new cruise terminal, 7 themed neighborhoods inspired by Royal Caribbean, and a wave of glowing reviews from early media sailings earlier this year. But behind all that glitz and glamour, there is plenty of controversy. Glitchy apps, underwhelming food, inconsistent service, and a few downright bizarre first-day experiences that left many scratching their heads. I have been following MSC for quite a while now, always with a mix of curiosity and caution. And this time, I decided to finally step on board their most hyped-up ship of 2025, MSC World America, to experience everything firsthand. This is a full review, from cabins, amenities, and restaurants to the little corners that never make it into the brochure. Every space, every dish, every emotion, all captured as honestly as possible. The journey begins now, and what you are about to see might just surprise you. If you ever thought MSC was just another European cruise line, then you probably have not seen what they are truly aiming for. MSC, short for Mediterranean Shipping Company, is a global giant headquartered in Switzerland, best known for owning the second largest container ship fleet in the world. But it was only in the early 2000s that they entered the cruise industry with a clear mission to become a serious rival to Royal Caribbean and Carnival. For more than a decade, MSC Cruises has been rolling out bigger and flashier ships, all with that signature European flair, elegant interiors, intricate designs, and especially wallet-friendly prices. But in the American market, they never quite managed to break into Royal Caribbean's territory. That is exactly why MSC World America was created. A ship custom-built for the United States market. A full transformation, from design and onboard services to building an entirely new cruise terminal in Miami. Terminal AA is now the largest cruise terminal in the world. From a strategic standpoint, this is a very clear statement, a bold challenge to Royal Caribbean, the longtime king of the Caribbean seas. And honestly, you can see it right away. The 7 districts layout on MSC World America is a direct nod to the 7 neighborhoods made famous by Royal Caribbean's Oasis-class ships. Take the World Promenade at the back of the ship, packed with bars, restaurants, and a nightly light show. It mirrors Royal's boardwalk, but with a sleek, modern European twist. Then there is Cliffhanger, the first ever thrill ride of its kind at sea, clearly MSC's answer to Royal Caribbean's Ripcord by Ifly or the ultimate abyss slide. And of course, the evening entertainment, such as the Queen Symphonic show at the Panorama Lounge, is MSC's push to close the gap with the Broadway-style productions that Royal has long been known for. But here is the real twist. The most interesting part is not the design or the tech. It is the question, can a cruise line rooted in European style truly understand what American guests want? Because while Royal has mastered the art of Americanizing every detail, from food and music to service and vibe, MSC seems to be playing a different game, keeping part of its European identity, while also trying to please a brand new market. It is a bold gamble, and MSC World America, launching in April of 2025, might just be their biggest bet yet. My cabin was on deck 14, with a balcony facing the open ocean, the type MSC calls a deluxe balcony cabin, and the first thing that surprised me was that I was the very first guest to stay in this room. Everything still had that brand new feel, from the scent of fresh paint and spotless glass windows to the shower head that had clearly never been turned on. The interior design was clean and compact, blending a minimalist European style with a touch of modern American comfort. Warm, earthy tones, soft golden lighting, and a large bed made the space feel incredibly cozy. I especially loved the ultra-thin full-length mirror. It saved space while also adding a sense of depth to the room. That said, there were a few downsides. The closet space was on the smaller side, fine for one person, but it could feel cramped if you are traveling as a family on a 7-night cruise. And while the balcony was lovely, it was also a bit narrow, about 3 to 3.5 feet deep, enough for sitting back and relaxing, but not quite wide enough to stretch out like you can on the Oasis-class ships from Royal Caribbean. A big plus, though, was the charging setup. USB-A, USB-C, both American and European outlets, even right beside the bed. MSC also did a great job with modern conveniences like motion-activated lighting and sleek touch buttons for do not disturb and please clean the room. When it comes to the bathroom, this was a clear step forward for MSC. The shower had a sleek glass door, a flexible shower head, and a surprisingly responsive water control system with easy-to-use buttons. I also really appreciated the magnifying makeup mirror and the soft, golden lighting, small details, but very thoughtful ones. One fun little quirk, the safe was hidden in a drawer under the desk, rather than inside the closet like on most other cruise lines. At first, I was a bit confused trying to find it, but hey, I learned something new that day. Any issues? Thankfully, no. Everything worked smoothly, from the air conditioning and lights to the in-room electronics. In fact, I never even had to stop by the front desk to get my key card. It was already stuck to the door, waiting for me when I arrived. Compared to Royal Caribbean, I would say the cabins on World America are slightly smaller, but the layout feels more intentional. Royal often leans toward spacious, but industrial, while MSC seems to be going for something warmer and more boutique-like this time around. The cabin on MSC World America was a pleasant surprise. It might not be the most wow room I have ever stayed in, but it was elegant enough to make you feel like you are about to start a truly memorable week. If there was one thing I was truly looking forward to on MSC World America, it was the food. Now, that might sound surprising, because on my previous MSC Cruises, dining was never the highlight, but this time felt different. The ship features over 30 dining venues, from main dining rooms and buffets to small eateries, street food stalls, and even an official Jean-Philippe Gelato shop. And I thought to myself, maybe this is the time MSC finally gets it right. The main dining rooms, like Hexagon and Asagao, offer a rotating daily menu with a light Mediterranean flair. The food was beautifully plated, portions were just right, but the flavors a bit underwhelming. Dishes like pasta, creamy soups, and grilled seafood were decent, but none of them really stood out. It all felt safe, as if the chefs were holding back instead of taking risks. The buffet, on the other hand, told a different story. MSC World America actually has two buffet areas, La Brasserie on Deck 19 and Il Mercato on Deck 18. And to my surprise, I actually enjoyed the buffet here. The spaces were bright, modern, and easy to navigate. Each one even had an outdoor seating area with ocean views, perfect for a relaxed morning meal. The food options were not as extensive as Royal Caribbean's, but everything was kept warm and freshly stocked. I was especially impressed with some of the stations, fresh bread, sandwiches, made-to-order pasta, and even a well-prepared vegetarian corner that showed real attention to detail. But the biggest surprise, the Grab Band Go Bites. Right near the harbor bar and bites, I grabbed an empanada just before going live on a live stream, and it totally caught me off guard. Hot, crispy, flavorful filling, and a perfectly flaky crust, it was genuinely delicious. There were also pigs in a blanket, hot dogs, chocolate chip cookies, all complimentary. And that, to me, was a big improvement compared to many previous MSC ships, which often stuck to just buffets and main dining rooms. If I had to hand out an award for most anticipated dinner, it would go to the Mexican specialty restaurant, Ola Tacos and Cantina. The setting was beautiful, the drinks were solid, premium tequila was even included in the drink package, but the food? Fairly average. The tacos were a bit dry, the burrito needed salt, and the salsa had no heat at all. I really appreciated the friendly and upbeat staff, but when compared to El Loco Fresh on Royal Caribbean, which is a free dining option, Ola felt overpriced and underwhelming. Now, when it comes to dessert, MSC stayed true to one of its traditional strengths, gelato. Especially at Jean Philippe, it was absolutely delicious. I only meant to try a small taste, and somehow walked away with 3 full scoops in hand. Yes, it costs a few extra dollars, but it was completely worth it. Overall, the food on MSC World America exceeded my original expectations, especially in terms of variety and experience. While it still cannot quite match the flavor and consistency of lines like Celebrity or Royal Caribbean, it is clear that MSC has made real progress. And that in itself is worth acknowledging. First, we have to talk about the Panorama Lounge, the show venue located at the aft of the ship, where the Queen's symphonic performance takes place. This space instantly reminded me of the 270 lounge on Royal Caribbean's Quantum class ships, with sweeping curved glass windows all around. But here, it was infused with a distinctly European cabaret lounge vibe, something uniquely its own. We did not make a reservation, just waited on standby, and eventually grabbed a tall table tucked into the corner. But the moment the lights dimmed, Bohemian Rhapsody began to play, and performers flew overhead across the ceiling. I knew we were not just watching a show, we were witnessing art. Queen Symphonic did not try to imitate Freddie Mercury, and that was a smart choice. Instead, they created their own version of the music. Multiple vocalists took turns, each with their own style and expression, layered with dramatic aerial choreography. It felt like part Broadway, part Cirque du Soleil, and part European lounge. And I sat there nearly an hour, completely captivated, eyes glued to the stage. During the day, the ship offered a wide range of activities too, but instead of the usual yoga or standard classes, MSC World America leaned more into visual and physical experiences. The Family Adventure Zone is a perfect example of MSC's new approach. Here, you will find a ropes course designed for both kids and adults. Cliffhanger, the first ever swing ride at sea, complete with an action cam that captures your moment in midair. Jaw Drop, a massive slide that drops from deck 20 all the way down to deck 8. I have to admit, I did not dare to try the jaw drop, but just standing at the bottom, hearing the screams echo from above and watching my travel companion fly down with their hair whipping everywhere was entertaining enough on its own. Beyond that, there is the Sportsplex, a multi-use space where guests can play basketball, soccer, and even bumper cars. Just above it is the Lego Family Zone, a bright, open creative space for kids that overlooks the sports arena below. One surprising bonus, the shows and most onboard activities come at no extra charge. Even Cliffhanger, which had rumors floating around of a $5 fee per ride, turned out to be completely free during media sailing. While MSC might not yet have the large-scale productions of Aqua Theater on Royal Caribbean or the immersive tech up to 70, they are clearly crafting a unique identity of their own. And on one particular evening, as both of us left the lounge smiling and softly singing "Don't Stop Me Now," I knew that, at least on an emotional level, MSC had gotten it right. If you have ever been on one of MSC's older ships, you might be familiar with that classic European elegance, beautiful, but a little closed off. But MSC World America feels completely different. This ship was built with a whole new design philosophy, open to the ocean, open to light, and open to the American guest. I felt that the moment I stepped onto the World Promenade, an open-air space at the back of the ship on deck 8, with color-changing lights at night, bars, restaurants, live music, and rows of seats all facing the sea. It honestly felt like I was walking through a lively waterfront district in Miami. What is interesting, though, is that even with all this openness, World America still holds on to that European finesse in how the spaces are arranged. Take the buffet, for example. It is not just one massive dining hall like on some other ships. Instead, it is broken down into smaller clusters and includes outdoor seating. Every morning, I would grab a coffee, head out there, and just stare at the ocean while my thoughts wandered. As for pools, there are plenty of them, though not all of them are perfectly laid out. The ship has a main pool on Deck 18, a Zen pool area for adults, and an indoor pool in the ... The Botanic Garden pool, tucked under a glass dome, is a peaceful retreat. If you are someone who enjoys quiet moments, this space is perfect, cool, breezy, and completely separated from the high-energy party zones outside. However, during busy times, the area around the pools can feel a bit tight, especially the Zen pool. It is beautifully designed, yes, but it lacks direct access from nearby areas, which can make it a bit inconvenient to reach. The gym is located right near the main pool area, spacious, fully equipped, and with ocean views. I only stopped by to shoot a quick video. I am not part of the up-sunrise-to-walk-5-kilometers crowd, but if that sounds like you will probably love it. Overall, the ship felt very clean and well organized, not at all like the occasionally chaotic layout MSC has had in the past. They have used a lot of metallic finishes, cool-toned colors, and LED lighting that shifts throughout the day, giving everything a fresh, modern, almost resort-style aesthetic. But that is not to say everything was perfect. Some areas, like the Zen pool, cliffhanger, and certain staircases connecting the rear of the ship, were a bit hidden away. If you are new to the ship, it is easy to get lost. And the app on your phone, let's just say, it did not help much. But more on that in the next section about technology. The design of MSC World America makes one thing crystal clear. They want to be American beautiful, but without losing their European soul. And while the ship is not perfect in terms of functionality, visually, it is one of the most stunning ships I have ever stepped on. Open spaces, gorgeous lighting, and just about every corner feels like an Instagram spot waiting to happen. Now it is 2025, and by now, we are used to controlling almost everything through an app. Booking a dinner table, checking the show schedule, finding your way to a restaurant, or even ordering a coffee to your room, all it should take is a few taps. And I expected exactly that when I boarded MSC World America until I opened their app. It is called MSC for me, sounds modern, and to be fair, the interface looks decent. But the problem, it does not work like a real cruise assistant. Right from check-in, the app told me my boarding group was set for 2:30 in the afternoon. But when I arrived at the terminal, the crew said, "Oh, your group was actually boarding at 11 this morning, that information? Only available on a printed sheet, the app never updated it." Throughout the cruise, the app kept giving me incorrect info, showtimes, buffet hours, you name it. Once, I checked which restaurants were still open, followed the directions, and walked straight into a closed glass door. The place had shut down 30 minutes earlier, but the app still showed it as open now. When it comes to navigation, the app does let you browse deck maps, but it does not offer directions from point A to point B. And on a ship this size, trust me, if it is your first time on board, you will get confused quickly. To be fair, the ship is packed with some impressive technology. Facial recognition cabin doors, no need to fumble for a key card every time you return to your room. Touchscreen kiosks throughout the ship, multilingual and informative, showing daily schedules, restaurant locations, and cabin finders. Smart elevators, you select your destination before entering, and the system groups passengers to reduce wait times and avoid crowding. All of that sounds great, and it really is in theory. But technology only works if it connects seamlessly with people. And that is where the app becomes a major weak spot, as my travel buddy joked, smiling. They probably hired a college freshman to build this app. The night before it was due, I laughed. But honestly, I felt a little disappointed. Because so many things on MSC World America have truly leveled up, and yet the app drags the whole experience down in a very noticeable way. MSC for me remains a persistent weak spot for the brand, despite their heavy investment in hardware and onboard tech. If MSC wants to seriously compete with lines like Royal Caribbean or Celebrity, where everything runs as smoothly as Spotify, they will need to rebuild this app from the ground up. Otherwise, I will keep snapping photos of paper schedules taped to the elevator wall. Now let's talk about pricing. MSC has long been known for its budget-friendly fares. Some even jokingly call it a European vacation ... for an American wallet, but that was the old MSC. MSC World America, launching in 2025, marks a turning point, not just in design and service, but also in pricing strategy. On this inaugural sailing, I stayed in a standard balcony cabin. The price? Merely $1,400 for 2 guests, and that did not include a drink package, Wi-Fi, or any perks. Others who booked group packages paid around $2,700, which included the Easy Plus drink package, Wi-Fi surf, and $50 in onboard credit. Purely by the numbers, that pricing puts MSC very close to Royal Caribbean, and in some cases, even higher than Voyager or Navigator class ships during off-peak seasons. But what gave me pause was not the dollar amount, it was the value I felt I got in return. If you are new to cruising, MSC World America will definitely impress you. There are 32 dining venues, with over 10 included for free. Pools, amenities, and shows are all complimentary. Beautiful scenery, modern cabins, and even facial recognition technology at your stateroom door. Gives on the surface, it all sounds very premium ... But if you have cruised with Celebrity or Royal Caribbean before, you will probably notice a few things. Service is still a bit inconsistent, the app is frustratingly bad ... And sometimes, dinner at a specialty restaurant here does not taste as good as a free meal at Solarium Bistro on a royal ship. The truth is, MSC currently sits in an awkward middle ground. They are no longer a low-cost budget line, but they are also not quite polished enough to be considered truly upscale. They can absolutely deliver that wow factor to first-time cruisers. But to more seasoned guests, the feeling might be, it's good. But at this price point, Celebrity or Princess still feel like a safer bet. MSC World America is trying to be a kind of European Oasis class ship, but with an American price tag. And while it is not perfect, they are getting closer than ever to truly winning over the US cruise market. But the final question remains, at Royal Caribbean prices, does the experience feel as worth it as Royal? There was a strange moment on the second night of the cruise. I had just finished watching Queen Symphonic and was walking along the World Promenade, the lights shifting colors, soft music playing from a nearby bar, ocean breeze brushing past my shoulders. And I caught myself thinking, wait, am I actually relaxed right now? For years, I had always thought of MSC as a try-it-once-and-see kind of cruise line, cheap, different, but emotionally detached. And yet here I was, on a crowded ship, with a broken app and dry tacos, finding moments that made me want to come back. Maybe it was that quiet time at the Botanic Garden pool, espresso in hand, sunlight filtering through the glass dome. Or maybe it was that late afternoon on Deck 18, wandering the buffet, finding an outdoor table, and sharing a scoop of Jean-Philippe Gelato that tasted better than we expected. Or maybe it was as simple as that first night, when I stepped into a brand new cabin, untouched, never used, and felt, for the first time in a long while, that this trip might actually be something new. MSC World America is not perfect, I know that, but it is trying to do something few cruise lines dare to attempt. Break out of the comfort zone, and maybe that is why. I do not clearly remember what I had for dinner that night, but I do remember the server's name, Unga, and the way he said, "Have a great evening, my friend." I do not remember all the restaurant names, but I remember the laughter, the glances, the late afternoon cocktail, and the Gelato crew member who offered us a new flavor with a smile that felt genuinely kind. It was not a perfect trip, but it was a journey filled with enough emotion to make me want to tell the story. And in today's world of travel, maybe that is enough. If I had to rate MSC World America after this 7-night cruise, I would give the cabin 8.5 out of 10. Clean, modern, and well-equipped, though the balcony was a bit narrow and the closet space could have been more generous. Dining scores 7.5 out of 10. The buffet and grab-and-go options were surprisingly good, but some specialty restaurants, like Ola Tacos, did not quite meet expectations. Entertainment was the standout, earning a 9 out of 10 thanks to Queen Symphonic, Cliffhanger, and the relaxing Botanic Garden pool. The ship's design deserves 8.5. With its beautiful open layout and plenty of photogenic corners, though a few areas felt slightly awkward to navigate. Technology, unfortunately, only gets a 6 out of 10. Despite facial recognition doors and smart elevators, the MSC For Me app was frustratingly unreliable. That brings the total score to 39.5 out of 50. Not perfect, but more than good enough to make me want to come back, or at the very least, to share this story with you. Have you ever sailed with MSC, or are you trying to choose between World America and a ship from Royal Caribbean? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if this journey helped you in any way, do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because there are still so many ships, so many destinations, and so many stories that deserve to be told.